As with most presidents before him, President George H.W. Bush will be honored with a state funeral.
That's the what, but why do former presidents receive state funerals? Here's our Ron Trevino.
The state funeral for President George H.W. Bush is one of the nation's highest honors. But why did the tradition come about? The first official state funeral was for President William Henry Harrison, who died in office in 1841. But it was the funeral of Abraham Lincoln in 1865 that was considered the first true national funeral. The honor is usually reserved for presidents, but there have been some exceptions, including General Douglas MacArthur and for the unknown soldier. A presidential proclamation directs the Department of Defense to hold a state funeral on behalf of the nation. In recent decades, most state funerals have been modeled after the funeral of Abraham Lincoln, a tradition started by Jackie Kennedy, who ordered aides to use his memorial as a template for the funeral of JFK. Most presidents come up with their own plans for their funerals after leaving office and often reflect their personalities, which is why President Bush's body will be transported by train. He loved trains since childhood. No matter what elements are included, a state funeral is a sign of respect for a man who dedicated so much of his life to public service. With the why, Ron Trevino for KHOU Rush.